Fox. This is what I was just talking about. John Boehner versus Harry Reid on this health care delay. I mean, this is just so many. I mean, I'm at a loss of freaking words here, man. I can't explain this. The president says one thing, Harry Reid says one thing, the Health and Human Services Secretary, old Kat Sebelius, she says one thing, John Boehner says another thing. Is anybody in government talking to each other? Is anybody in concert with each other? Does anybody talk to each other? Anybody work together? Everybody just comes out and gives a speech, sends a tweet. All right, now let's get to this jackwagon, John Boehner. The guy's a bonehead. Nimrod Reid. God almighty, these people. I mean, aren't you tired of hearing these people's names? I mean, don't you get tired of hearing Boehner and Reid, Pelosi, Dum-Dum, Wasserman Schultz? I mean, don't you get tired of hearing these people? Don't you think, America, it's time for a change? We get some new names in here? Can we get some new names? I'm sick of these names. I'm sick and tired of hearing these names. But the Obama administration has now made another delay with his magic pen, because he can do so. He's a king. He can decree anything. He can change the law. Yeah, you don't know that? It says it right here in the Constitution. He's got executive order power, which that clause for the executive order power, not exactly an executive order power. But George Washington, from George Washington on to this knucklehead, they all think because, well, I'm the president, I got to have certain power. Yeah, you do need to have certain power. But you can't have all the power. You understand? You can't do certain things on your own. There are some things you can do unilaterally, but not everything. And once a law is passed and put into law, you cannot change the law unless you go through Congress. See, because Congress is the only ones who writes the law. Not the EPA, not the ATF, but Congress. We are experiencing a surge in demand and are making sure that we will be ready to help consumers who may be in line for the deadline to complete enrollment. They don't have anybody signing up because there's nobody, one, that can afford it. The 50 million people who didn't have insurance, they can't afford it. They're not signing up. These people didn't think about that. They don't know what the hell to do. No one's signing up for the program. They know the real numbers. The numbers they tell you are not real, but they know the real numbers. That's why they keep delaying it. You put out more delays, eventually more people might sign up. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And now we have this big giant mandate, which means you have to do it, but that mandate's been taken away, and all you got to do is claim that you tried to get on, but you couldn't. Okay. So then again, what now is the point of this health care? Why did we tear down and destroy the greatest health care system on planet Earth? To make it mandatory, then to take away the mandatory. 50 million people who don't have insurance, and they're not signing up because they can't afford it. What did we do? Who did we help? Who did we help? Well, we helped the Democrats get reelected. Well, now they're finding out that this system doesn't work, and now they want to get reelected in 2014, so that's the only reason why they're doing this. So how many people out there, and I'm sure there's a lot of them, Democrats, will say, well, he gave me an extension. That's George Bush would have never given me an extension, so I think I'm going to vote Democrat this time. That's way to go. Way to go, Mr. President. Thank you for that extension. I mean, none of this stuff doesn't even make sense. I mean, this man contradicts his own self. He contradicts his own laws, his own thoughts, his own feelings. He's just one big contradiction. That's all he is. He's a contradiction dressed in a suit. And please, with this guy with that blue tie, he's been wearing that damn thing for 5-6 years now, since he came in office. I'm sick of it. Every time he gives some stupid speech, an important speech, he always wears that blue tie. Is that the only tie you got? All right. Now, first to the crybaby here. We all know that this extension, and John Boehner is right. He's going to lose his job in 2014 because he doesn't deserve it. He lost it. He lost his job. It's not so much that we're going to take it away from him. If we have anybody smart in Ohio, which, don't get me started, I love Ohio, but I love Massachusetts too, but I love San Francisco, but, a big but on that one. I don't know who's got a brain in San Francisco, but there isn't very many of them. I mean, when you're going to vote for somebody like Nancy Pelosi, I mean, Jesus Christ, you can't get any dumber than this woman. You can't. Every time she speaks, the goddamn air gets stupider. That's how dumb this woman is. She walks into a room and all the intelligence just escapes. Just goes into a big black hole, like it sucked up that airliner. Just sucks up all the intelligence in the room. Her brain is a black hole. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that Flight 370 wasn't inside this woman's head. Speaking of which, yeah, that is devastating. It does look now that it is more and more likely that the plane did crash in the southern Indian Ocean. They did find a debris field. It's very difficult to get there. So again, our hearts and prayers go out to these families. But John Boehner was responding to the administration's announcement about this other delay, and you can wait till mid-April to do this, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to get it implemented. And they can't implement it. The law itself is I can't even say the word, but it can't be implemented. The law itself won't allow the law to be implemented. Well, let's fix it. Fix it. It's unfixable. What's to fix about it? Nothing in it works. Okay, fine. Pre-existing conditions. I can understand that. I think most people can understand that. And I'm sorry, insurance companies, but hey, look, when people pay you, and when something goes wrong, you have to pay them. That's a contract you sign. But their insurance companies don't ever want to pay out. They want you to pay them, but they don't want to pay out. Well, that's too bad. If you don't like that, insurance companies, you need to find another business to get into. I don't feel sorry for you. It's a risk, yeah. But paying into you, and they get and they need to claim insurance. You can't keep raising their rates because they needed insurance. That's what insurance is for. You need to pay them what you promised them, what the plan was, and no screwing around with them. So yeah, are there bad insurance companies out there that do screw with the people? Yeah. Should they not be allowed to practice the way they practice their insurance? Yeah, these are some good things. But you can't do it in the way that they did it. You can't force people to buy anything. You cannot force people to buy anything, and that's another reason. Now you've got all these religious groups out there now that are claiming, hey, wait a minute, in our religion, whether you're religious or not, these particular religions. Now, I respect religion. I'm not a real big religious guy, but I do respect people's religious beliefs. Why? Because we have it in our Constitution. I'm a constitutionalist. I don't care what you believe in. You can believe in whatever you want to believe in. Look, if it gets you up in the morning and keeps you going all day, who the hell is anybody else to tell you any different? I can't tell you what to believe. Believe whatever you want. That's your business. That's your right. And if your belief is that contraception and abortion is against your whatever religious beliefs for whatever reason, then why should you be forced to pay for something that you don't want that goes against your religious beliefs? Huh? I mean, we can't force these prisoners in Guantanamo to eat pork. These terrorists, the people that killed Americans, we can't force them to eat pork. But we can force the Catholics to pay for abortion care and buy abortion care and contraception and whatever else that they demand that they must have. Can't have that chemotherapy. That's a life-saving drug. Can't have that. We're not going to pay for that. But we'll pay for your abortion. That'll cure you. So the speaker gets up here in front of everybody and acts big and tough and blah, 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 blah. You know, I don't even know why I'm even going to play this, but I have to show the contrast between John Boehner and Harry Reid. We have to do this. So shut up and just play John Boehner. You probably heard it yesterday anyway. So go ahead, play it again.
Finally, last night brought us yet another delay of Obamacare, another deadline made meaningless. You know, he hasn't put enough loopholes into the law already. The administration is now resorting to an honor system to enforce it. The hell is this, a joke? Listen, this is part of a long-term pattern of this administration manipulating the laws for its own convenience. And it's not hard to understand why the American people question this administration's commitment to the rule of law.
Do you see now, Mr. Boehner? Do you understand now, Mr. King, Mr. McConnell, Mr. McCain, Mr. Graham, all of you? Do you understand now, Mr. Boehner, why it was so important for you to stand up and hold the line? You had the government shut down. You didn't shut it down. They shut it down, but it was over Obamacare. You had the American people on your side. All you had to do was stand the line. You were given the most perfect opportunity, a platinum platter, studded in diamonds, the most perfect opportunity to fight and actually get something accomplished and fight back to this bully. Stand up to this bully. And when I say bully, I'm not talking about just the president. I'm talking about liberalism, period. Progressivism. Progressivism is not progressive. It's degressive. You don't believe me? Just take a look. Take a look at your neighborhood. Take a look around you. Pay attention. You had the perfect opportunity to fight. You had the American people on your side. Obamacare was just coming in and had all kinds of problems. It still got problems. All you had to do was hold the line. But no, you couldn't wait to surrender. And Mr. McConnell, don't give me this nonsense. You didn't know that you had this multi-billion-dollar goddamn pork sandwich in there so you could build some cockamamie bridge in your state. The whole purpose for shutting down the government was overspending. So what does this guy do? He opens the government back up with a multi-billion-dollar pork sandwich to build a bridge. Well, I'm sure that bridge is probably going to be very beneficial to Kentucky. I'm sure that it is. It's probably a great idea. But when you have the government shut down because of overspending, you don't spend another God knows how many billions of dollars to open the government back up. What was the point of you? What was the point of you guys even standing up? What was the point of you even allowing the government to be shut down? Why didn't you just surrender at the very beginning? What the hell did you accomplish? You understand now, Mr. Boehner, why it was so important for you to stand up and fight? And I told you this at the very beginning in October, and I have it archived, so don't sit here and tell me that I didn't. Everybody told you this. Everybody knew this was going to happen. We knew as soon as a Republican said, nope, this is it, we're going to fund the government with this, and it does not include Obamacare. We knew that they were going to surrender. It was only a matter of time. And what did they do? They surrendered. What was the point? What was the point? I don't know. What was your point, Mr. Boehner? What were you doing? What did you accomplish? Huh? Oh, you gave a good speech. Oh, wow. This is why it was so important. And we told you that Obamacare was, the longer Obamacare stays, the harder and harder and harder it's going to be to get rid of it. So it tells me that, it seems to me, now, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, Maybe I've been drinking too much grog this morning. But it just seems to me that the powers to be in the Republican Party want Obamacare. They want to act like they're fighting for it, but they really want it to be implemented. Mr. King, Mr. Boehner, Mr. McConnell, and on down the line, which tells me they must have some kind of monetary investments in health care. See, this is what politicians do. They put their money into places and they pass a whole bunch of laws and a whole bunch of this and a whole bunch of that, and contract here and a contract there, and they're all making millions of dollars. That's called insider trading, which you can't do it. I can't do it. Not even that idiot. What the hell was her name? Oh, what the hell? I can't. Her show is terrible. Oh, my God. And this woman is supposed to be, America's homemaker? Martha Stewart. That's her name. Oh, my God. Have you ever seen her show? My God, the woman is terrible. I mean, I got no one to, I really don't have a whole lot of room to talk about when it comes to speaking because I have a broken left-handed tongue and I'm constantly tripping over it. But I don't spit and sputter all frickin' day. I get it out. My God, put a little energy. I mean, she speaks this. It's just, I mean, she's boring. Boring. And none of her stuff, I mean, I've seen the stuff that she did, and I'm thinking to myself, and I do crafts. And the reason why is because I heard about this Martha Stewart. This was a long time ago, before she got arrested. And I do crafts. I love crafts. I make things all the time. And what my crafts that I make things out of junk. I don't buy anything to make what I make. I make it out of junk. If I got to buy it, it's not worth it. I take garbage. I take what people have thrown away. I find old sticks. I find this. I find that. Whatever I can find, I scrounge. I do a lot of walking and I ride my bike. I've got a very bad back, so I have to constantly, I can't sit for very long and I can't stand for very long. So I constantly got to keep moving. And half the time my back is to the point where I can't even walk at all. But when I do, I out there and I love to create. I love to make things. So anytime that I see some kind of craft show, I'm always watching that. PBS used to have some good stuff on there. I haven't watched PBS in a while. But my crafts come out of my head. They don't come out of what I watch on TV. But I do like to watch certain things. Every once in a while, you can pick up a trick or two here and there. You can get your own ideas. So I watched her, and I thought, what the hell is this all about? This woman is horrible. I mean, this is boring. Don't give me this America's homemaker. And so when she got arrested, I was like, it didn't bother me a bit. I was like, good. She should have been arrested just for the quality of her show. It was awful. I don't like people when they got a bad show, and because, they're in the right party, that they got to be pumped up. Like all these stupid reality shows. There's no quality in that reality TV. Kim Kardashian, that's quality entertainment. She's a bimbo. She's dumber than a box of rocks. What the hell? How do you watch that? What's the matter with you, America? I mean, come on. This, again, it goes with the mindset and the culture. Our mindset is lazy. We don't want to think. We want somebody else to think for me so I can just turn on the television, have my thought of the day, and then I go about my merry way. I don't want anybody telling me how. You can't tell me how to think. You can't micromanage me. I am unmicromanageable, period. I'm me. You can't change me. I don't change for anybody. I don't care who it is. But I'm me, and I'm going to remain me. And you must remain you. You don't have to accept me. You don't like me. You don't want to accept me, then don't. Go somewhere else. I don't care. You're not going to sweat off of my back. Like I care that you don't like me? I probably don't like you. What do I give a damn? But I'm me, and I'm not about to change me. I don't care what anybody says. I don't take anybody's advice. Well, you should got to say this, and you should do this, and you should do that. Well, you should shut up. Mind your own goddamn business. You mind your business, and I'll mind my business. Together, we'll get along real fine. But the answer to your question, Mr. Boehner, yes, this is a joke. It's not a very funny joke, but it is a joke nevertheless. So now we go to Harry Reid, who's got an excuse. This is why they need another delay. This is what you get from liberals. You don't get reasons. You get excuses. Excuses are made out of thin air. Okay, sometimes there's reasons for things, and sometimes there's excuses. Reasons are reasons. Excuses are excuses. Excuses to me, as far as I'm concerned, don't count. Excuses don't count. Reasons count. They don't have any reasons. All they have is excuses. And anybody who buys this stuff, how do you believe this stuff? How do you sit there and you listen to a Harry Reid and a Nancy Pelosi and Debbie Dum-Dum Wasserman Schultz? The president, the vice president, Jay Chili Carney, he's an idiot. He's leaving. God only knows who they're going to get next. It doesn't really matter. They're not going to give you any truth. They're just going to give you nothing but spin. I would be a goddamn basket case if I was one of those press reporters, those White House press reporters. I mean, I would. No. Me and John, I guarantee you, me and that Jay Chili Con Carney would never get along. I can tell you that right now. Him and me, I don't think would ever become friends. Because as soon as you lie to me, I'm going to call you on it. I don't care who you are. Man, woman, child, or beast. A lot of my Republican friends don't like the fact that I call them on it. Well, I don't give a damn. If you're going to spin, you're going to lie to me, I'm going to call you on it. You don't like it? Well, then don't lie to me. It's that simple. You don't need to lie anyway. For what? What are you going to gain from a lie? What do you ever gain from a lie? Think about it. Has anybody got anything from a lie? Well, Barack Obama got president. So I guess maybe lying does pay off. Crime does pay. How about that? Well, see, this is the culture in our country. If you lie, you get promoted. If you tell the truth, you either get demoted or you get arrested. Or you get fined, or you lose your job. This is our culture now. Culture of lies. Our government is on a foundation of lies. It's not the foundation that our founding fathers put forth. It's what they put forth. The police department, they're on a foundation of lies. Yeah, we have the power to do whatever we want. We've got a gun and a badge, and if we come up to you for any reason, we don't need probable cause. Where's your ID? Ah, boom, 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 boom. Don't move. Stop moving. Stop moving. The guy wasn't moving. Let me tell you something, cops. You don't have that power. You took that power, but you were never given that power. You do not have the power to be judge, jury, and executioner. That is not your power. You do not have. I don't care what's in your stupid cop handbook. I'll roll that son of a bitch up and smoke it. I don't give a damn what's in that stupid handbook of yours. I care about what's in this document right here. It's called the United States Constitution. Maybe you cops should read it. Hey, what goes around comes around in this world. I'm sorry, but it does. Sometimes it takes a little while longer to come around, but when it comes around, it's had time to pick up speed, and when it hits you, kaboom, it hits you. So I'm warning you. I'm warning you cops. I'm warning you liberals. I'm warning all you government officials, all you government agencies, all you little tyrants out there, all you school teachers, school administrators, superintendents. Your comeuppance are coming. So beware. The American people are not going to stand for this any longer. They are not going to stand for this any longer. And you're going to start to see it here pretty soon, especially with all the people out of work. You can only be out of work for so long, and people do get a little grumpy, especially when they haven't eaten in a while, especially when they had a life and now they don't. They get a little grumpy. So go ahead. Keep tyrannizing the American people. And when they rise up and push you back, what happened? I don't understand. Well, this is what happens to tyrants. This is what happens to bullies. Eventually, somebody's going to rise up to a bully and punch him back in the nose, and then he stops, like with Putin. I'm sorry, but there's nothing the United States can really do right now. We put ourselves into a position where we damn near just gave the keys to Putin. Said, here, there's Crimea. You know where it's at. Just go take it. We don't need it. We don't want it. By the way, here's the keys to the internet. By the way, see that island over there in New York City? It's called Manhattan. With all those buildings? Yeah, it's a big target there. So anybody who has a nuclear weapon, that's where you want to strike first. Why would he say that? It doesn't even make any sense. Where did that come from? I'm more concerned about a nuclear weapon in Manhattan. How about a nuclear weapon in Kansas City? Would you be concerned with that? So if a nuclear weapon blew up Kansas City, I guess that would be okay. You wouldn't be concerned with that. But if it blew up Manhattan, then you'd be worried? I mean, what are you talking about? What does that even mean? What the hell's the matter with this guy? Jesus, God almighty. Let's get moving here. Only got 10 minutes. Oh, my God. I didn't get through anything, but we're going to get through the rest of it tomorrow. But this one's important. This is to the dart ass of the week, Harry Reid. Listen to his excuse. Not a reason, but the excuse why they need another delay. You're going to like this. Go ahead and go.
There's no hiccup or delay.
There's no hiccup. There's no delay.
Who tried to sign up and they didn't get through.
They just didn't get through.
Piece on public radio
wonderful piece. Oh, just wonderful. Connecticut.
Extremely well with healthcare.
Well,
extremely well. Set up a couple of stores.
Yeah, a couple of stores.
Come in and get their healthcare. It's worked out
hundreds
well.
of thousands of people. Yeah.
Listening to that piece reminds me of why we got to extend this time.
Yeah.
There are some people who are not like my grandchildren.
Oh yeah.
Handle everything so easily on the internet.
You can't get on that internet.
Need a little extra time. It's not.
They need time.
The example they gave is a 63-year-old woman came in to the
63.
I almost got it every time. I just about got it. It would cut me off. We have a lot of people just
trying to get on the internet
through no fault of the internet because people are not educated how to use the internet.
Just not educated how to use the internet. Oh yeah. Just not educated to use the internet. Well, I guess they can go to Nevada and get one of those criminal navigators. They can sign up for Obamacare then. Isn't that right, Mr. Reid? Well, what the hell was this guy talking about? People can't get on the internet. Hundreds of thousands of people. Wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute. Yeah, you see the contradiction here? We got 50 million people that don't have insurance. So we built a website for $677 million and got 3 years to do it, and we still haven't completed it yet, and it's still insecure. But we only built it so we can handle 7 million, but the 90% of those 7 million, probably a lot more than that, already had insurance. But they lost it because they didn't have abortion care. So now they're claiming 5 million, which they don't have 5 million. There's probably I don't know the exact number, but anybody who has to pay for it out of their own pocket with no subsidies. Nobody knows you got insurance. It's ridiculous. And now they're only concerned with hundreds of thousands? What about millions? Now they're down to 100,000 people didn't sign up for Obamacare, so we got to give another delay for 100,000 people. How about the 50 million people that don't have insurance? Well, it's because they don't have a job. Instead of opening up the oil industry again and the coal industry and all these other industries and working on actually trying to get away from natural resources like gas and oil and all that. Work on something. Maybe you can give somebody a job there. But no. We just get the EPA, they just make a policy. Okay, technology is now this, and this is how you have to do it. And if your coal plant puts out this much smoke, well, then you're going to be fined this, and this, and we're going to shut you down. So instead of trying to get these 50 million people into a job so they can get health insurance, no. We take all the millions of people who have insurance, and we put them into this new health care. Because they don't have abortion care. And that's important. Abortions are important. You must have an abortion. You're not a real woman until you've had your first abortion. That's the way it is. Look, I don't care about abortion. You can believe in it or disbelieve in it. But the point is, health care should not have been overhauled. The greatest health care system in the world should not have been overhauled for the purpose of abortion. That's my point. You want to have an abortion? Go, fine. Scrape your vagina all you want to. I really don't care. It's settled law, damn it. But the greatest healthcare system in the world should not have been overhauled simply just for abortion. That's my point, and that's where I'm coming from. And Harry Reid, please shut up. I'm sorry, kid, but you're just a babbling idiot. There's so many hundreds of thousands of people. They try to get on, and they're not like my grandchildren. You can just get on the internet and just sign up, and it's so stressful for them. And they really want Obamacare because they really like it. That's what they tell me. No, they don't want it. The reason why no one's signing on to it is because they don't want it, Mr. Reid. They do not want it, Mr. Obama. They do not want your health care. That's why they're not signing on. Even the youngins don't want it. The youngins don't want it. The elderly don't want it. Nobody wants it. And if you have a pre-existing condition, you don't want it because you not only cannot afford it, but you don't get the necessary treatment to fix your disease. But you can get an abortion. You can't get rid of your cancer with chemotherapy, but you can get an abortion. And you wonder why people aren't signing up for this crap. Gee, I wonder why. Good God. Oh, I swear to God, I knew I was going to lose it today. I got to stop. I got to stop letting these people get me. Why should I have to get myself all stressed out, give myself a goddamn heart attack for these people? Well, because I care. I'm one of those guys. I'm a passionate guy. And when I'm passionate about something, yeah, I do feel it. I speak from the heart, man. I speak how I feel. Now, if you don't like it that I scream and I cuss and I get a little excited, well, there's nothing much I can do about it because I'm me. I can't change me. There's nothing I can do about me. I didn't invent me. I just know how I am. I had nothing to do with me. It wasn't my fault that I was born. I was resting comfortably deep inside a testicle. I had no idea what was going next. Next thing you know, I get sucked out and smacked up against an egg. 9 months later, bada boom, bada bing, here I am. I had nothing to do with it. And I didn't invent me. I didn't make me. I just know who I am. I'm a very passionate man. And this kind of stuff irritates me. So yeah, I'm going to get a little vocal. I'm going to get a little excited. I think we all need to get a little excited and all a little vocal.